Welcome to Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette. Today I'm joined by 3 local nonprofits, Lizzy's Fund, Theatre for Charity, and the Chicago Sinfonietta.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, UC Bank.
You're watching Spotlight, and joining me now from Lizzy's Fund are Bernie Slupik and Chris Yell. So nice to have you both with us, and we have a lovely little friend here, or not so little, Buddy. Chris, tell us a little bit about Buddy.
Yeah. Hi, this is Buddy. He is between 8 and 10 years old. He came to adopt Pet Shelter as a unclaimed lost dog. He's been with us for about a month now.
Okay.
And he's doing really well. He was in a little bit of rough shape, but we were able to fix him up thanks to Lizzy's Fund. And he's ready for adoption.
Okay, well, we're going to learn a little bit more about that, but he sure is doing well. This is a whole new environment for you, Buddy.
Yeah.
Bernie, what is Lizzy's Fund?
Lizzy's Fund has been around this is our 13th year.
Lucky 13.
Lucky 13. We informally originally got it together with one shelter and then decided that we needed to become our own not-for-profit, which has been amazingly successful. The fund was named in honor of Lizzy, who was a little 5-pound Chihuahua, who almost met her demise at age 9. She had some problems back then that the vets thought couldn't be fixed, but her owners wouldn't give up, and they sought out alternative medical care, which was amazing. And taking a dog who couldn't stand or walk to, after a day of treatment, could stand, after 3 days could walk, and after a week was running. And she lived another 7.5 years, great years. So when she passed, her owners decided they wanted to educate people on the benefits of senior dogs, and they started the fund.
Okay, I love that. And what type of services do you provide? Because we're going to talk a little bit in a minute with Chris, but what do you provide?
We basically have 3 funds. The oldest and most common is the general fund, and basically it provides financial assistance to shelters and rescues that are 501c3 organizations for all the dogs' medical, dental, surgical, grooming, and alternative medical care to dogs that are 7 and older. The Brody Memorial Fund is basically provides the same services, but is a restricted fund named in honor of Brody, who was the commensurate therapy dog. And he was so well known in the community that when he passed, we established that in his honor. And then the last thing is Lizzy Care, which provides all those services, but it also takes a step further for dogs that can't be adopted. And we provide hospice care, basically.
Okay.
And we get permanent fosters that keep these dogs for however long they have, and we provide all financial assistance for that.
That's wonderful. Yeah, that's wonderful because, you know, if you're going, at some point, when you're going to pass over, being with a loving, caring family,
Yes.
that means that's very important, right?
It is.
Yeah. Chris, you've been the executive director at Adopt for some time.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about how you're partnering and collaborating with Lizzy's Fund.
Yeah, well, we are so excited to be collaborating with Lizzy's Fund. They have been just instrumental in allowing us to take in more senior animals, help with their care, provide them with exceptional care. I think that we're going on our 8th year now, Bernie, that we've been working together, and it's just been amazing. Together, we've been able to help so many senior pets.
Yeah, I would imagine, I mean, I think we all sort of tend to think about it, oh, the cute kittens and the cute puppies, and, you know, you see those pictures, but, you know, senior animals need that same care, need that same adoption, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Bernie, how do you feel, you know, in this relationship that you have with Chris, how do you feel that's impacting the community?
I think it's so important for the community because basically it's one organization in Naperville helping another. And we bring different things to the table, obviously, but we work so well together and we provide, I think, more animals that can be adopted, and we provide animals to be happy in homes and owners to be happy to have them. I just think that Adopt is a perfect organization. So not only are they a shelter, but now they have their low-cost spay-neuter clinic, which is expanding. And they also have a training center as well. So I think it's wonderful for people to know that Naperville organizations are helping Naperville.
Yeah. Well, and I would imagine, and Chris, maybe you can kind of expand on this. I would imagine because you're providing with your organization support in this area for the senior dogs, that frees up more of your resources to be able to put to some of those other services, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it does.
Talk a little bit about, I want to address a couple of things. The first is, what are some of the benefits of adopting a senior dog?
Well, you kind of know what you're getting. So oftentimes, when you get a puppy, you're not quite sure what they're going to grow up to be. And senior dogs tend to be just so appreciative of their space and people who love them. And so they can bring so much joy and love into your home. Oftentimes you might get one that's a little bit calmer because they're kind of past that puppy chewing, jumpy, mouthy, all those things that come along with puppy ownership. I think senior dogs make great pets.
Okay.
Great pets.
Okay. And now Bernie kind of touched on it, but talk a little bit about your other services.
Yeah, so our clinic is expanding, which is really exciting. We were mainly doing spay neuter and vaccines and whatnot, but now we've also expanded to provide some general wellness care, so minor injury, minor illness, those sorts of things. And that's new for us because we recognize that there are so many people who are looking for affordable vet care, and we're hoping to provide that.
Okay. Does that, I wonder, and I could be off base on this, but when people surrender their pets, a lot of times that vet is very expensive. So do you feel like that's a way that you can sort of avoid the animals ending up in the shelter, right?
Yes, and it really ties into the senior pets because as pets get older, they can encounter different health issues, and some of the care can be expensive. So that's where Lizzy's Fund comes in, and they help us provide that basic care for the senior pets, and if they need anything else like lab work or medicines, those sorts of things.
Okay, and do you have vets that come in, or do you have one on staff?
We currently have one full-time vet and one part-time vet.
Okay, awesome. Bernie, if you were to sort of sum up, what would you like people to remember about Lizzy's Fund and their impact in the community? I know you're passionate on this topic.
We want people to realize that Lizzy's Fund is grateful. We're grateful to the shelters and rescues because without them, they're on the front line. We could not do our job. We're grateful to our adopters and our fosters because obviously without them, we couldn't adopt out dogs. The fosters are amazing people. We can't say enough about them. We're grateful to our benefactors because our benefactors not only provide administrative relief, so we don't have to spend administrative money on anything we bring in. Most of it goes to senior care. Less than 2% of our income goes to administrative care, which is big.
That's amazing.
And then our benefactors also match in November, which is Senior Pet Month. They match 100% of all donations that come in.
That's great.
And lastly, we're appreciative and grateful to the senior dogs because they provide so much love and affection to the families that adopt them. And for a senior dog, every day is a gift.
Yeah. Well said. Well
Thank
said.
you.
I know you've been very passionate about this for a very long time. It's great to see collaboration. I'm a huge fan of that because it just amplifies 2 to 3 times what you'd be able to do individually.
Exactly.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Chris, any last thoughts from you?
We're just grateful to be working with Lizzy's Fund, and we're grateful to be able to serve our community and the animals that they own. And it's a good thing.
How about you, buddy? Got any
He's
last
like,
words
I would
for
like
us?
some more treats.
More treats. More treats.
More treats. He says, come to adopt and adopt me.
Yes.
I'm a wonderful dog.
That would be lovely. We can vouch for that.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you.
We appreciate all that you do in the community. And if you would like to learn more about Lizzy's Fund, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned for more Spotlight.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, UC Bank.
This is the When Art Flourishes, Everyone Flourishes commitment. This is the Let's Revitalize Our Neighborhoods commitment. This is the Roll Up Our Sleeves and Pitch In commitment. This is Busey, where our commitment to strengthen our communities is a top priority. Through energetic, engaged volunteers, through monetary support and advocacy. Because Busey is more than a bank that does well, we're a bank that does good.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank.
Welcome back to Spotlight. And joining me now from Theater for Charity are Lynn Hodak and Anna A. Honan. It's so nice to have both you ladies back with us. We really appreciate you stopping by. Lynn, I'm going to just kick right off with you.
Okay.
The mission, what is it?
Theater for Charity. We bring joy to the community through theatrical productions. And then what we do is we get all of our profits and we give them to a charity. So everything goes right back into the community. It's more than just putting on a show. It's providing good assets to people in the community as well as letting them see a new production.
I love that. I love that. Tell me some of the productions you've done most recently.
Well, Anna would. We've been through the ringers together. So first one was Into the Woods,
Okay.
and then we did High School Musical, and then we did Joseph, and now we're doing Freaky Friday, which is so fun.
Oh, love that.
Yes.
Love
Yes.
that. Haven't seen the movie yet. I'm dying to see that movie. So that's great. Wonderful.
Yes.
Well, Anna, talk a little bit about maybe an impactful story that kind of brings that mission to life for you.
Right. One of the first ones, our first was Adopt. That was our first charity last year. So Into the Woods and High School Musical, everything was going to go back to them. But in the process of it, we took our profits and we made a donation. And there were so many dogs that we had seen. 6 months later, doing the second production, High School Musical, we not only promoted all of the dogs, it was my pre-show, all their little faces and cats and everything. So that was wonderful. But when we brought the next gift, our donation to them, we also brought gifts, and we saw some of the same dogs.
Yes.
And so we double promoted. Lynn and I, and Theater for Charity, we put it all on our Facebooks, all over. A lot of them got adopted. Now, we'd like to think it was because of us,
It all helps, right?
That's
It all
right.
helps. 100%.
Right,
100%.
right. But that was just so,
Yeah.
and you don't have to be an animal lover to know that you are, you see it in the dogs and the cats, just playing with the toys you brought.
Yeah,
So,
having an impact, right?
Yes.
Having an impact.
Yes.
What makes you unique, do you feel?
well, it is the fact that we, in fact, give back our profits.
Yeah.
So there's so much theater around here. And we, like so many of the theaters, do wonderful productions, I would say.
Yes.
So knowing that we're giving back, the more tickets we sell, the more everything that we can do, that all is going to serve our mission and our charity, which is this year's Metropolitan Family Services.
Another wonderful organization.
Definitely,
Yes.
that can so desperately use whatever we can give to them. Besides, we also promote for them on our website.
Yeah, you're bringing awareness and you're bringing funding.
Exactly.
Right.
Just
Lovely.
every post, everything that we do
Right.
will have their name and their website, so they get a lot of visibility. And
Definitely.
That's just as important.
Well, and particularly with a different audience, right?
Yes.
Right.
So,
Yes.
because they have their following and you
Right,
have yours.
right.
That's wonderful. Lynn, what advice would you give to somebody in the community who was thinking about volunteering with you and your organization?
Come join us. Have fun. Really connect with our mission and get to know the actors, get to know the production team. You'll have a great time, but there's something for everyone, something for everyone to do one thing or another. So join us.
Okay, lots of different kinds of work too, I
Yes.
would assume, right?
Right.
Yes, everything from promotions to backstage work, costumes, props, tickets, concessions, whatever it may be, we can use the help.
Okay. And are there any other particular things that you as an organization are in need of?
Well, we definitely could use, we don't have our own facility. So that is
Okay.
something that, we're unfortunately, because we get to meet wonderful people, right? But we are finding and renting locations, which again takes a little bit of your profits, you know, right?
Yes.
So, but besides so many things, we have given a training to our interns. We have 2 interns, which a lot of theater companies don't do, and not community theater companies.
Okay.
And so that is giving them that training. But people that are interested, they can just come and volunteer. I mean, the fact that a business could say, promote, put signs up, put everything up. If they have a website, you know, just say, you know, go and see this production. We've seen it, whatever. They can come and then, you know, say, I've been there. You got to come. You know, all those things will help us.
Yeah, takes a village, right?
It does.
Yeah,
it
takes
is.
a village. Lynn, what are your biggest challenges right now?
Visibility.
Okay.
You know, we're brand new. We've rebooted from 16 years ago, and we just need people to know we're here. We need people to come and see our shows. One thing I do want to point out is that we have been so blessed with the community. We've Kids Cabaret and Summer Place and Brightside have been so generous to us. They've lent us things, they've rented things to us. That has been so wonderful. That community means a lot, and we just want more of that community to be a part of us.
That's wonderful, because we chat with all of them. In fact, just recently talked with Brightside, and I do think they're, you know, that nonprofits helping nonprofits. There's not a competition. There's no limit to the amount of arts we could benefit from, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, that's wonderful. As we wrap, one thing, if you had one thing you'd want people to remember.
Remember to bring joy and remember to give back.
Okay, I love that. Sage advice. Sage
Wonderful.
advice.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for coming by. We appreciate it.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And if you would like more information about Theater for Charity, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back with more Spotlight.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, UC Bank.
This is the run my own business dream. This is the colleges paid for dream. This is the retire early dream. This is Busey, where your dreams and possibilities become moments through trusted guidance and expertise, through lifelong relationships. Because we're here to help you achieve the life you've always envisioned.
Oh, hi there. I'm Stephen Holt from NBC5. I'm just getting all my ducks in a row as I prepare to host NCTV 17's The Morning Show. Join me on November 13th as I host this annual fundraiser for the Naperville community's nonprofit television station. We're going to share some coffee, conversation, some great guests, and I promise you'll even quack a smile or two.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, UC Bank.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette, and joining me now from the Chicago Sinfonietta is Sydney Jackson. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Jane.
Yeah, welcome to the community. And let's start by, where did you come from? How did you get to the Chicago Sinfonietta?
Yeah, so as I like to say, I came from the better side of the Hudson in New Jersey. I lived in Hoboken for 16 years, moved to Teaneck with my family. I have a wife and daughter, 4-year-old Sloan, or affectionately called Sloanie Baloney.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, that'll be her stage name.
Yes, that is her stage name. And so, so I was a kid who lived in Florida, and I was a little civil rights activist as a young boy. And so I started singing opera and playing tennis because I wanted to inspire other Black and brown humans to really know this was a sport for us or an art form for us.
I love that.
So really, the Sinfonietta is the intersection of a life's work of journey. I went to school to be a professional opera singer, and I'm so glad to be here in the greater Chicagoland area. I always love coming to Naperville.
Oh, good. Well, we're great here.
Yeah.
We love it here. It's a really, and we love the arts here. I think that's one of the things that's important. As you kind of talk a little bit about that and kind of on your life's journey, how does this work really feed into that? And how do you create positive impact within the Chicagoland area?
Yeah, so the Sinfonietta was founded nearly 40 years ago by Maestro Paul Freeman. He was the first Black man or Black individual to run any major orchestra. And so he founded this orchestra to break down barriers to race so that other kids throughout Chicago knew they had an orchestra that looked like them and was for them. And so that plays out to today as well with Maestro Man Chin. She really puts forth, and our musicians show up here in DuPage County. We do a lot of work in the schools here. We have a program called Encore and Music Makers that we bring in, and we work with all school-age kids from about 3rd grade to high school.
Okay.
And the kids love it. I read recently about, especially post-COVID, a teacher wrote us and just said how important it was to have us in schools here to rebuild the arts program that fell apart during COVID too.
Yeah, that was a very difficult time when the doors at the theaters and the performance arenas closed. That was a hard time. Not a lot that you could do with that, right?
No, it wasn't.
I think it's very interesting too, because as you talk about that, and you talked a little bit, I'm a tennis buff too, I love that, Arthur Ashe. That exposure. If you don't see that you could go in that direction, then you tend not to, right? So that's why that's so important.
Yes. For us, it is so important. Maestro Paul Freeman, being a Black man on the podium, gave way for many Black conductors today, right? You will hear it all the time. That's the same thing with people seeing themselves on our stage. And whether they see us on the stage, the composers, we like to, again, put at the forefront Black and brown individuals who are composing. We have Shirley Thompson, who is British. You're going to have to come to that concert this year.
Absolutely.
You know, we're doing a partnership with Deeply Rooted, who is a dance company here in Chicago. We're also in talks of partnering with a community dance program here as well in our programs. So we try to weave it from top to bottom, even on the administrative staff as well.
Okay, and you're working within the schools too, right? Say a little more about that.
Yeah, so we work in schools. Again, we have a program called Music Makers, and then as well our Encore program. Encores is really special because it gives individualized attention to musicians, to young high school musicians, which, again, I was fortunate. I started private lessons very early, but most kids go to college never having a private lesson, which again puts them at a disadvantage in a lot of cases. So what we try to do is give that access to the arts really early before many people here in Chicago get it.
Okay. Yeah. What excites you for the future of your organization?
I mean, we've been daringly different is what I like to say, and we're going to continue to be daringly different. You know, the programs this year, we've got 5 programs that happen at Wentz Hall here in Naperville. We always open in Naperville. It's how we start a week of concerts. What better place, right?
It's fantastic. The sound is incredible, right?
Yeah, and so we have 5 concerts, weekends in 6 venues. So this year we're going to take people on a tour of Chicago as well. But again, you can come to Wentz Hall and meet us for 5 concerts. And it's the collaborations. This summer, I got to see a partnership with Clayton Stevenson, who is going to be on our stage this coming season. And it is a tribute to Miles Davis, but it also features one of our violists, Seth Pei, who is writing and commissioning a piece, who was also a Freeman Fellow of ours.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're bringing it full circle with that.
Bringing it full circle.
Yeah. As we wrap up, as you think about your mission and how you weave that into like your 25-26 season and the recordings that you do, how are you doing that? How are you expressing that?
Yeah, so recordings have really been the bedrock of this organization. We just celebrated the 25th anniversary of our first recording on Sadi Records, which was founded by Jim Ginsberg, who is the son of Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah,
nice fun fact.
Nice fun fact. And so we just did a recording with 2 fantastic flute players and composers. Their duo is called Flutronics.
Oh, nice. I like that.
And we recorded it here in Wentz.
Okay. The acoustics are amazing,
Yeah, we
right?
recorded in Wentz. We premiered it here. And that recording comes back out early 2026, so you can come and get that recording as well.
Love that.
Yes.
You are excited about
Yeah.
this new position.
No,
It comes through.
I'm really excited to be in Chicago. I'm glad I came in the summer, though, and
Yes,
not the winter.
yes. It's not as bad as they say.
No, and I am on a mission to make sure that the people of Naperville come to the hall. There's always space. There shouldn't be, but there is. So please come. We're going to open with Bollywood and Beyond, which is going to be fantastic, October 17th.
Okay.
And there'll be a post-concert reception as well, so you can get a
Nice.
little fun. And it's during Diwali, so we're going to have a festival of light. It's going to be exciting.
That does sound wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
No,
and we
thank you.
welcome you to the community and excited. It's always a joy to listen to the music. It brings joy to your heart, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we're grateful for the work that you do on that.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
All right.
And to find out more about the Chicago Sinfonietta, please go and visit their website. I'd like to thank all of my guests for joining us on Spotlight, and our friends at Busey Bank for their generous sponsorship of today's show. To learn more about the organizations featured on this episode, please visit our website at nctv17.org. And to stay informed about what's happening in our community, sign up to receive our daily news update and like and follow us on social media. For Spotlight, I'm Jane Wernette. Thank you for watching.
Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank.